According to PMDC, it's a level 3 qualification
Wow.
and it's equivalent to FCPS at the moment. So it's like, you can say Perio chose me in a way.
The universe chose you for it.
Yes, yes. So I understand how Perio is very notorious that, it's just scaling and polishing, दांतों को मांजना and सफाई करना. But student has to take initiative themselves as well.
Diabetes and gum disease are connected.
100%. Yes.
It is said that pregnancy cost you your teeth.
And these are cardinal signs of inflammation, like halitosis and swelling. मतलब कि आपका गम का कलर थोड़ा सा change हो गया है. I think sometimes you have to be a little delusional in your tawakkul. And I think, alhamdulillah, all of my success which I have to this date is because of that delusional faith.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. I'm your host, Dr. Wajiha Masir, and welcome back to the third episode of the Smile Lounge. In Pakistan, we have a very strange habit. If our hands bleed, we rush to the doctor. But if our gums bleed, we just change our toothpaste. Today, we are going to talk about the silent side of dentistry with someone who is a specialist in the field of periodontology. With qualification from the Royal College of Surgeons in Edinburgh, she is not just a mentor, but a mother who has survived the brutal grind of residency. So please welcome the powerhouse, Dr. Nida Ayub Khan. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Nida.
Walaikum salam, Dr. Wajia. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to have you here, Dr. Nida.
Likewise. Thank you so much for having me over.
Okay, Dr. Nida, for the layman, what exactly is periodontology? Is it a field that just goes beyond scaling and polishing?
So periodontology encompasses the study of supporting structures of the teeth, which means it includes the gums, the bone that supports the tooth, and all the structures in between. So think of it like, a beautiful house. Like, when we go to build a house, we want to make it as aesthetic as possible. We focus on the walls, we focus on the roof, and even the internal decor. But if the foundation of the house is shaky, for example, if you make the house on shifting sand, it wouldn't last for that long. So similarly, periodontics is the base of dentistry. If you want to conduct any aesthetic procedures, so you need to make sure that the perio health, the periodontal health of the patient is ideal before proceeding with any other procedure. So I understand how perio is very notorious that, it's just scaling and polishing, दांतों को मांजना and सफाई करना. But, an ideal analogy for this would be, this is the difference between, washing a car and fixing its engine. Right? So engine is what keeps the car running. So there's a lot more to perio than just scaling and root cleaning. That's just the first step. Advanced procedures include surgical procedures like, we correct gummy smiles, we regenerate tissues which have been lost, and a bit of implantology also falls into a domain.
Okay, Dr. Nida, let's go back to the basics. Was periodontology always a dream of yours? Yeah, here you figured it all out through your dentistry. Catch, I want to be a periodontist.
Okay, so there's a really funny story to that. When I was in my undergraduate, I hated perio with a vengeance. I absolutely hated it. Like, I'm not kidding. It was like the bane of my existence. बस मैंने सर से उतारी थी थर्ड डे में जैसे मैंने उतारी थी मुझे पता है. But I was more interested in other fields. लेकिन somewhere along the way मेरे रास्ते for the other fields वो बंद होते गए. So it's like, you can say perio chose me in a way.
The universe chose you for it.
Yes, yes. So, but the one thing that I appreciated about perio is that it's not saturated as yet, and इसमें awareness नहीं पाकिस्तान में. So I would love to be a part of a field जिसके बारे में I could spread forth more awareness and education and could be a pioneer in the field as well.
Okay, so since you navigated your path through the house job और फिर आपको समझ आया कि अच्छा like every door closed और फिर you went into the periodontology वाली चीज़. So for the students of today, like जो confused हैं इस field को लेने के लिए, what's your take on that? कि आप उनको क्या advice देंगी?
First and foremost, for students who just, finish their house job, मैं उनको हमेशा बताती हूँ that there's a 4-year formula. For the first 4 years, you will definitely be navigating your way through it, and it takes at least that much time to, find your way and find your calling. So don't be too hard on yourself. Attach yourself, to a good mentor. That's the second advice, that if you're really interested in the field, so do mentorship under a good periodontist, somebody who does surgical procedures on a regular basis, to find out the exact scope of the field. And I think that's the way to go about it.
Usually ये होता है कि in our third year we taught the manual scaling और फिर house job में ज़्यादातर procedures होते हैं वो आपके ultrasonic scaling के ही होते हैं. So since you talked कि we Periodontology is more than just scaling and
Yes,
polishing.
definitely.
But we really perform those surgical procedures and we really teach those things to our students. Is this the reason why this field is so underestimated?
So, Wajiha, I might answer this in a way that will take you back down the memory lane.
Okay, so for the people who are confused, Dr. Nida Ayub Khan, she is my teacher. She has taught me in my third year, and we were the first naughty batch, I guess.
No, you were actually the first batch that I taught when I started my postgraduate training. And for this reason, I was so attached to your batch. We were so invested that I used to call you my adopted babies.
Yeah, I remember. You always call us like you were my adopted baby.
Exactly. I always felt so protective and seeing you guys, progress so much in life, mashallah, it's so heartening and it's so, बहुत खुशी होती है. So the curriculum back then was not that updated. Unfortunately, the curriculum has been stagnant for quite some time, but now I'm so glad that we're finally catching it up to speed. So now the curriculum is being designed in a way that the undergraduate students also get exposure to clinical procedures like regeneration and recession coverage so that, they're better able to correlate the theory with the clinical part. And especially for house officers rotate in our department, they are being given hands-on exposure to clinical procedures. They're assisting us in surgeries. So you'll be pleasantly surprised now. Things have changed.
I think they're lucky ones because जब हम होते थे हमें तो सिर्फ scaling polishing होती थी unless and until you take the plunge. And I remember I used to assist her in the implant wale cases. So it was a lovely experience, Dr. Nida.
Thank you so much. But that's what it comes down to, that the student has to take initiative themselves as well.
Yeah. Okay, so Dr. Nida, now let's jump to our fun segment, which is a fact or fiction round. Just I will be giving you some desi patient moments, and usme apne you have to react. Ke, is it a fact or a fiction? So let's start.
Sure.
So scenario number 1, scaling से दांत हिल जाते हैं and enamel घिस जाता
A very strong fiction.
है. Fiction.
This is the biggest fiction that we face in our clinic. Scaling se daant nahi khiste. What happens is that ultrasonic scaling particularly, the vibrations, they just break off the calculus because the patient feel that that thick layer of calculus is gone. So hence they feel somehow that something is missing from their teeth and they presume it to be enamel. So it does not make your teeth weaker, rather scaling is necessary because it removes the harmful bacteria which are contained within the calculus, and it's very important.
Diabetes and gum disease are connected.
100%. Yes. Diabetes and gum disease have a two-way relationship. If your gum disease is uncontrolled, it will worsen your diabetic control. And if your diabetic control is not maintained, then it will worsen your gum disease as well. So it's really interesting that perio-OPD is the first point of contact where the patient is diagnosed as having diabetes. Because when we see the clinical presentation and when we take the patient history, like if they have diabetes in their family, so that's a clear sign that the patient might be suffering from diabetes. We have to treat these patients in a holistic way. We have to make sure that they consult their main physician, their endocrinologist, and as well as conferring them ideal periodontal care.
That's very interesting, Dr. Nida. Okay. Miswak is better than any toothpaste.
So for this, I would be somewhere in between. Like, if this is fact and this is fiction, I would be there. Miswak has definitely been proven to contain, antimicrobial properties, and it's an excellent method of mechanical plaque removal. Whenever we think of ideal oral hygiene routine, we want to make sure that the plaque is mechanically removed. That means not just with mouthwash, like with some action of bristles. So Miswak provides that. But it all comes down to the correct use of Miswak. But at the same time, it can be used as an adjunct, but not as a substitute for proper brushing.
Mouthwash can replace toothbrush if you are in rush. Is it?
It's fiction. It's pure fiction. So I discussed this before as well, that you need to make sure that you need to disrupt the plaque mechanically, which means that there needs to be some physical removal of plaque. So when you use a mouthwash, that doesn't take place. Mouthwash is just a chemical adjunct.
Yeah.
So mechanically, toothbrushing cannot be replaced.
Flossing or using interdental brushes can create gap between your teeth.
It's a fiction, right? So what happens is that flossing or any other interdental aid, what it does is that it removes the debris which are caught in between the teeth. So when that debris is removed, again, the patient feels a sense of emptiness. That's what makes them think that, okay, maybe, there's a gap in between my teeth. But then again, if you use it vigorously or incorrectly, that might result in injury to the gums. So make sure you use it correctly.
It is said that pregnancy costs you your teeth.
So I'm a bit on the fence with this one, and there's an interesting reason for it. Why? So while pregnancy, it causes conditions like pregnancy gingivitis, which is bleeding and swelling of gums. due to hormonal changes, and also pregnancy का side effect होता है morning sickness,
Yeah.
which is frequently vomiting, especially during the morning, which causes erosion and it causes a little bit of आपके teeth आपको लगेगा शायद weaken हो गए, लेकिन you cannot say that the baby sucks the calcium out unless you're already suffering from a severe calcium deficiency. Yes, and in which case I strongly recommend for pregnant women to keep up to date with their prenatal.
Okay, a dentist can instantly tell whether a patient has flossed or not.
It's true. An experienced dentist can definitely tell immediately if the patient has flossed or not. And if the patient has been flossing for a long time, or was it just a one-time thing before visiting the dentist? Because we see the tight interdental contacts and the way that the gingiva is shaped. So, like, in our routine questioning, when we ask the patient that which oral hygiene aid do you use? So, if the patient says that I use floss regularly, we can say no, you don't. That's just a one-time thing. That's so frequent because actually patients tend to
They always blame it कि हाँ हमने तो किया, हम तो 2 दफ़ा ब्रश करते हैं, हम तो 3. There was a patient who said कि मैं तो 6 दफ़ा ब्रश करता हूँ, फिर भी मुझे आना पड़ रहा है स्केलिंग के लिए. It's like what?
इसमें interesting thing is the patients tend to change their history. They tend to withhold their history. I always teach my students that whenever you ask patients that which are you suffering from any disease, when you name every disease and they say Alhamdulillah सब कुछ ठीक है,
सब कुछ normal है.
सब कुछ ठीक है.
But
Don't forget to ask, are you taking any medications? Because it has happened कि दफा patient ने कहा था अल्लाह का शुक्र सब ठीक ठाक है, कोई मसला नहीं है.
And then you discover कि अच्छा वो aspirin ले रहे थे.
They're like कि हम शुगर की भी दवाई ले रहे हैं, हम इसकी भी दवाई ले रहे हैं, लेकिन आपने कहा अभी तो आप कह रहे थे कि आप बिल्कुल ठीक थे.
Yeah.
लेकिन वो ने कहा लेकिन अब तो ठीक हो गया ना दवाइयाँ लेके, तो मुझे कुछ भी नहीं है.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
dental history is very important.
it cannot
honestly.
be stressed enough.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nida, for your hot take. Now let's move on to the next segment.
For sure.
Since gum disease is a silent killer and it does not ache like a tooth cavity does, so how is a common person supposed to know that their foundation is rotting before their teeth actually start falling out?
That's a very good question, and thank you for asking that. Most patients present to us when the disease is too far gone. It's our duty to educate them regarding the earliest signs of the disease. One of the first signs is that when you brush your teeth, you feel that they're bleeding. अब जब आप रिंस करेंगे तो उसमें थोड़े से खून के स्ट्रीक्स आएंगे, आपके मुंह में खून का मेटालिक टेस्ट आएगा. Moreover, some patients report halitosis, which is bad breath. And these are cardinal signs of inflammation, like halitosis and swelling, मतलब कि आपका gums का कलर थोड़ा सा चेंज हो गया है. The one that was supposed to be normal pink is now fiery red. These are the hallmarks that this is the time that you should definitely consult a dentist as soon as possible.
That's very interesting to know because ये चीजें हम लोग usually ignore कर देते हैं या फिर
Definitely.
toothpaste change कर देते हैं.
Definitely.
Okay, so Dr. Nida, you chose the RCS Edinburgh route.
Yes.
So let's be real. Is that international tag a golden ticket or is it just an expensive piece of paper?
Dr. Vajiha, you make it sound like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. When Charlie, he wins the golden ticket. But let's be real. So my qualification from Royal College was actually membership of periodontics in Royal College of Surgeons, Edinburgh. It's summarized as MPerio RCS ED. For that, I took an exam, and when I passed it, I was conferred this degree. And another advantage was that they say if you fulfill a certain criteria in terms of experience and competency, they confer your fellowship with the same exam.
So it's like the same thing, like MRCS ED and FRCS ED. M stands for membership
Yeah.
and F stands for fellowship.
Yes.
And it is equivalent to FCPS of
Yes.
like in
It is-
Pakistan.
Yes. According to PMDC, it's a level 3 qualification
Wow.
and it's equivalent to FCPS at the moment.
Wow.
Alhamdulillah.
It is an international tag, the golden ticket.
I'm
you
Charlie
bring.
in the chocolate factory. So now that's something which made me feel that I'm a better clinician on the whole, not just a periodontist. And it's not all just theoretical. We had like a 4-day exam and it had 8 parts. So the first 2 parts were theoretical and the remaining 6 parts were OSCE based. And it was insane. It was the most difficult exam I've taken to date.
Wow, you have done a great job.
Alhamdulillah, in kind.
Okay, so that means it has changed the way you treat your patients now.
Yes, definitely.
So Dr. Nida, we got serious for too long, so now let's explore dentistry through memes. I will be giving you some typical dental scenarios and you pick the meme which fits the best.
That sounds interesting.
Scenario number 1, a patient comes in with 10 mm pocket but says, "Doctor, I brush twice a day." My joke to you. Next up is a fresh BDS graduate looking at the merit list for residency?
Smiling through the pain. इतनी पढ़ाई करके भी so much pain.
Yeah. So just imagine that you were at a family wedding trying to eat your korma, and a distant relative pulls you aside, opens their mouth wide, and asks you, "Nida, beta, ये पीछे वाले दांत में दर्द है, मशवरा तो दे दें."
This has happened too frequently, you know. So it's a combination of these two. I think first this and then this.
When you spend 45 minutes doing a deep scaling, explaining everything perfectly, and a patient asks at the end, "Dr. Saiba, इससे मेरे दांत नहीं हिल जाएंगे?"
Like this. Because something that I do personally is I counsel the patients during the procedure because that's that one time when they can't talk back. So I keep on reinforcing, you know, कि आपने ये करना है, करना है. अगर उसके बाद भी ये चीज़ ये बोलेंगे तो I'll be like, you know,
What can I do? When the HOD or senior says, "Just extract it and move on," but your perio heart wants to do a bone graft and save it.
it's like, you know, it's like I won't even be smiling at that point. I would be crying and saying, please let me take this up.
Okay, so that was a very fun round, and I think we have summarized all the Khagastani dental experience through these memes.
Definitely, I would agree.
Okay, so it is May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I have seen you going through it all. Like, you did your residency with a baby, and in our society, women are expected to be perfect at home while managing their career alongside. So, when did you think it became more challenging for you, and what made you kept going on with the same grit without having a professional burnout?
So basically, I navigated my residency with two children, two babies.
I remember you doing that.
You would remember I would be
Yeah.
full term pregnant and I would be giving demonstrations to
That was
guys.
crazy. And we used to ask for how, Dr. Nida.
बस वो it was the love for teaching and Allah ने हिम्मत दी थी. So I think the most challenging time was when my second born came into this world. It was almost at the end of my residency. It was the final year. And I had this need because I thought that, you know, I have to prove myself that I am the chief resident. I have the best skills and everything. I came back, you know, less than a month after my son was born. I came back to work because I had this, मैंने patients करने हैं, मैंने अपने cases complete करने हैं. I didn't realize उस वक्त because I was running on adrenaline. लेकिन I burned out real fast. Like I could only sustain it for like 2-3 months. उसके बाद जो मेरा downfall आई है ना इतनी बुरी because I could not physically give my best. I went into something that's called executive, you know, dysfunction. That I just could not bring myself to do the work. And that phase lasted for a year. It was the toughest thing to navigate. This is what they call the postpartum blues. And I think what helped me sustain through it was obviously the support of my family. My in-laws, alhamdulillah, have been extremely supportive. And the little babies, of course. And just the faith that you have to keep swimming. This is just a phase. You have to go through this. I think sometimes you have to be a little delusional in your tawakkul. You know, you expect big things from Allah. You expect it from Allah that Allah ने जब आपको ये difficult time दिया है, वो आपको इससे गुजार देंगे. And I think, alhamdulillah, all of my success which I have to this date is because of that delusional faith.
So did you take the career break?
So I did not take any career break. The world was on fire for me, but I just had to keep on going because I felt that once I step back even a little bit, then I will, you know, lose the motivation to go back. Obviously, I love my babies and I would give anything to spend time with them. And वही बात है बेचारे when they get accustomed to their mother, you know, being there for them on a very regular basis. So it'll be hard for them as well to letting me, you know, to allow me to go back to work. So bus, I kept swimming and I kept swimming. Obviously, you know, I had phases when I did consider that I need to leave this field, and I even announced it publicly once or
Yeah, I
twice that
remember
I'm
that.
leaving this field. मेरी बस हो गई है. But on the low side, I was like, I must just, you know, I must keep low key and I must just get to know what I'm doing. Inshallah, Allah will reward me and it'll all pay off.
And I think Allah Ta'ala has rewarded you. For
Allah
that.
has rewarded me far beyond what
Alhamdulillah
I
for that.
deserved. I definitely,
No,
you
you
know.
worked really hard, Dr. Nada. We have seen your journey through. I have seen you studying all the time. Like whether you're giving demonstrations, whether you're teaching, whether you're doing anything, you're just studying. or either investing in the वो Curitouch और वो जो instruments होते हैं perio के
Like, I'm
The
so
heavy
glad you brought
investments.
that up because, all of my stipend from my PGship went into my instruments. But yes, Alhamdulillah, matlab ke the hard work has paid off. Now I feel the pressure that Allah has given me this, title, and may Allah give me the strength, and may He give me the ability to maintain,
To sustain it.
to sustain
Yeah.
the respect affiliated with this title. Inshallah.
That was such an inspiring story, Dr. Nida. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now let's lighten things up with our quick rapid fire round. I will be giving you some scenarios and you need to tell with the first thing in your mind whether it's a fake or a real scenario.
Sure.
You can actually tell a patient's stress level just by looking at their gums.
That's very real because chronic stress leads to a chronic elevation of stress hormones, which has its own manifestations, like the patient breaks out in ulcerations, उनका marginal gingiva जो है वो inflame हो जाता है, and in severe cases it leads to necrotizing periodontal diseases as well.
Being a teacher is harder than being a surgeon.
In my case, that's very true because being a clinical teacher, you have to teach clinical surgeries as well. So there's no margin for error. And while being a surgeon who's performing surgeries independently, perhaps, maybe we can overlook some steps, or maybe we can, जैसे देसी ज़ुबान में कहते हैं कुछ जुगाड़ कर सकते हैं. लेकिन when you're teaching, you need to show what's the evidence and what's the established protocol. So that's more tough, definitely.
You have to follow the books as well. So yeah,
100%.
it's very difficult to do that.
100%.
You have considered leaving dentistry at least once in the last year.
Oh, I think once every week, if not last year, for sure. Because I feel, unfortunately, in our part of the world, dentistry does not, it does not have that financial, return that it should.
One word for the current dental market in Pakistan.
I think the current dental market in Pakistan is volatile in the sense that because currently the patients do not have the buying power as they used to like maybe 3 or 4 years back. Because right now people are struggling to survive, and oral and dental care is the last thing on their mind unless they're in a lot of pain. Especially for periodontics, where a lot of procedures fall under elective, domain. So that's when the patients opt out of these procedures.
Okay, Dr. Nida, let's wrap this up with my final $1 million question, which is after all the blood, sweat, and the tears, is being a periodontist actually worth it in Pakistan?
So that's a question that has been asked to me very frequently, and my honest answer would be that it depends on your own dedication to the field. Honestly, whichever field you go into, whether it's peri or prosto, you have to be sure that you're giving your 100%. And as for perio, I strongly feel it's the underdog of dentistry because it's very, very much underestimated and it's very rapidly growing. Mashallah, we have so many training centers which are churning out specialist periodontists now within Pakistan. So I have high hopes from the field in the future.
Thank you for such an insightful answer, and I hope the field gets its due recognition.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nida, for being a part of this My Lounge. We had a great time with you.
Thank you so much for having me over. It was an honor and a pleasure.
Today, we did not just talk about the gum health, we talked about the reality behind the profession and the cost of growth. So if you found this podcast helpful, so do subscribe to our YouTube channel and do follow us for more episodes. Thank you.